What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, we're doing a VOD review of this new comp that has just cropped up, a new reroll comp even, which I know you guys love. It's really started to, really, I think the thing that catalyzed it, that made it more popular, was this Reddit post, little Reddit guy that came out. 14.4 Bastion Morgana. I'll have a link to this in the description. We'll talk about some of the positioning tech, but very good scores for this player who I believe is in Challenger, right? And yeah, wow, yeah, really nice stats with this comp, so you can see the power of it. And spoiler alert, but we're gonna play this game. So let's watch. We are watching Saintvicious play. He's got the cat cam. I gotta get me a cat cam. Need to put a little, he's got a little chair there and it puts a cam. It's actually genius mode, but come on, am I gonna set up two cameras? Am I crazy? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. In any case, we start off really with some kind of, I would say, a direction that really doesn't point us straight to playing this line. I don't think there's anything here that that makes you say immediately okay, we're gonna play towards this line. We're gonna just reroll these, and is it a memory bank hard force from this spot for Saint here? I wouldn't be surprised. I think this augment is fantastic these days, especially to play towards Elise, but part of the benefit of this board is that you do get to play this Elise unit on your board, but you also get to play, really, I think people, the more they've played, realize that this Morgana unit was just straight up overbuffed. She's way too good. She does way too much damage. This unit, you would oftentimes rather carry a Morgana 1 than some of these other early units at 2-star, and if you hit a Morgana 2-star, she can carry you straight to stage 4, and especially if you hit a Morgana 3, then she'll put you in a spot where you're very happy in the late game. And there's the Morgana 2, so we can start off with that. Did he check X? I didn't see what the Exotech item was. Maybe I'm blind. I thought I did not see him check Exotech, but I will say when you're playing this comp, you do want tank Exotech ideally, because you're going to be playing towards the Jax. You're playing towards the Morgana 3, Jax 3, and the Poppy 3 as your main kind of tanks and carry on this board. It's a pretty straightforward one-cost reroll, and then you're just adding more Bastions to the board, and you're adding more Dynamos to the board. And obviously, there's this nice little inbuilt synergy where there's 3 Dynamo / Bastion, Sejuani, the Jax, and the Jhin, so you can get that in really easily. Sadly, until once you get really far, you can oh, and he actually types in chat. He actually calls his comp in chat here. You can't see, but he says I'm he's basically I'm playing the reroll version, because he thinks Ripple Overdrive is also gonna play the reroll version. And Ripple's okay, I'll just contest you, and he's you're trolling. And maybe he is. We'll see how this game goes. Actually, contested would be crazy. We do have the dupe here, at least to kind of get us there. But yeah, I actually wanted to pull up Jax, star level 3, item count 3, and I wanted to pull up item wise, and then go to other here, because yeah, my intuition is that Cyber Coil is the worst. Yeah, and this is what the stats say when you filter for specifically Jax 3. Surprisingly, it has Hyper Fangs up here, but I think this is slightly tilted for Jax Hero Augment, so probably not amazing. But yeah, Corrupted Chassis or Repulsor Lantern are the ones that you would like in this setup here. this is nice for Jax, and that he gives himself a shield. So it would make sense that Chassis is the best one, Repulsor Lantern's okay, and Cyber Coil, it's not great, but really not too bad regardless. So that's what you're looking for as far as Exotech items. Yeah, you can see actually, we'll see what Ripple ends up going for here, because he could very well contest us. I do imagine Cooking Pot is a fantastic augment to play into this comp, because you can scale up the HP onto these Bastion units, which they love HP. If you guys haven't heard me say it by now, you haven't been watching my videos, but multiplying stats on each other, different stats, is really good. HP on a unit with a bunch of RMR is really good, because each point of HP goes further. So you're always excited about getting HP onto these Bastions, so that's what Ripple is thinking in this spot, and Saint's thinking in this spot, hey, I have a Morgana opener, I'm just gonna play this comp and try it out. So we'll see what happens. This is by the way, this Reddit post came out 9 hours ago. I literally I woke up today and I think I had a notification. It's this is a new Reddit post that came out. So I think this is really a new comp. I tried to look up some VODs for this comp, and there were a few games that people played today, and that was basically it. So yeah, I mean, very new, very cutting edge, but I mean, you know, TFT players are. I think very quickly this is going to become, well, we'll see. We'll see how this game goes. I mean, I think Morgana's a broken unit, so I would not be surprised if Morgana reroll was good. And you know, before people were playing like, they would play like Bruiser reroll into this. You know, we did that VOD of Title doing like Morgana Bruiser reroll, but I mean, this makes a lot more sense. Just kind of like with the synergies of the units. So Saint wants to roll here. Honestly, he's incentivized to roll as deep as possible here because we're still of the opinion, yeah, that we're going to be contested this game. And yeah, I mean, it looked like Ripple, let's take a peek. Yeah, Ripple also rolled it to 30 here, found Morg 2, Jax 2, Poppy 2, 4 Jaxes. So we're actually, oh my God, we're contested 1-cost reroll. I don't know, this is giving the like vibes of like the Zoe reroll comp back when what was that, Magic and Mayhem that was set 12, right? Yeah, the Magic and Mayhem Zoe reroll comp. It was like Zoe plus, was it Bastions back then as well? When that came out, and there were like multiple people playing it every lobby, and it's like, okay, come on, that's a little bit much. Speaking of a little bit much, buried treasures here, actually not too much. It's actually fantastic here. When we are existing in this world where you just get fewer items based on the changes that existed this patch. I mean, even though I don't love buried treasures 3.2 as much as buried treasures 2.1, obviously, because it takes you longer to get the items, and they're more relevant at this point in the game, you know, because you're taking bigger losses stage 3, you have more units upgraded and stuff like that. So I don't love it 3-2, but it's still an item augment, and Saint actually really needs to be bailed out as far as items go here. We have no blue buff for the Morgana. As far as Morgana, like BIS, let me do an explorer check here to make sure, but my intuition, I mean, she's a blue buff unit, so I mean, that's step one. She's also a Gunblade unit because she does this damage over time, very consistent damage, so Gunblade looks really, really good on her. And yeah, I mean, obviously Blighting Jewel is ideal. I mean, Morello and Red Buff are also really nice on her, but I feel like in this comp you probably can't go Morello or Red Buff just because you would lack damage. You probably need 3rd damage item last. I was gonna look at Archangels here because I would think, let me put Morgana and then at least 4 Bastion into the planner here and see where, I mean, it says throw Bastion emblem onto her, fair enough. I mean, yeah, it says Death Cap's good, it says Archangel's pretty good. I mean, this is a very slow comp, so Archangel should be good on her here. Also, I mean, you do have Guardbreaker as an option, which I think is what we're going for here. Probably her single best glove item because she's repeatedly proccing, you know, she's doing damage over time. So all the ticks of damage are benefiting from her hitting a shield at the start. So it's just good. And we do make the guard breaker here. We do have a red buff as well, which I mean, you can throw it onto Elise. She hits multiple targets. So yeah, I do think that's a reasonable spot to put it for now. I mean, lowest of keys, you could think about actually removing the tier and putting red buff on Morg for now. But it's going to end up costing you probably 2 removers in the long run, and we're not on a win streak. Maybe if we're in a spot where we're like win streaking here, you could make that play, but we're actually lose streaking pretty hard here. So yeah, continuing to roll down. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy. He scouted Ripple for a second. I want us to fight Ripple here so I can see what Ripple's setup looks like because yeah, he's doing a lot. Okay, let's just pause here. Yeah, I mean, hard contested. 5 Morgs here, 5 Poppies and 6 Jaxes. Almost the exact same spot as us, actually. It's kind of funny. Don't we have 6 Jaxes? Actually, we might have 7. Yeah, we have 7 Jaxes, 5 Poppies, and then do we have 5 Morgs as well? Yeah, it's actually kind of hilarious. We're both hitting very equally. And this board of directors guy is also holding on to a Morg too here. I mean, the one scary thing, I mean, all I'll say is if Saint can top 4 this game, this comp might be broken because we are starting the game 45. Oh, actually, we had 8 Poppies. I missed that Poppy 2 that we had on bench. So that's fantastic for us. So at least we get there. But I'll say, if Saint in top 4 this game, isn't this comp just broken? We're starting the game 45 HP. We're only 5 Morganas. I'm not missing a Morgana, right? Yeah, there's no Morga missing there. I bet Saint is wishing that I was missing a Morgana here. And ooh, his items actually work out quite nicely. We do really need a tier here, and we don't get it. I mean, we have our last, actually, no, penultimate. No, yeah, last item here. We do roll down here, pick up some upgrades, but still, oh, we are far. We are so, I mean, okay. Oh, God, we do get the tier, actually. That's huge. I mean, we have the dupe here, so we're only one off. We're only one off, but oh, God, the gold is not looking good, I will say. But all right, we've made it to some version of the board. I don't know when we're leveling up for Exotech. I don't know when we're even... All right, it's here. Epitaph teaming up and mentorship. He actually, I'm surprised he rolls that quickly. I mean, I think he's just taking teaming Oh, he was looking at potentially teaming up for the gold, but Piercing Lotus looks way too good to pass up here. Gives us the crit for our guard breaker here, and we also have no MR shred built, so that's fantastic there. So we just have to roll down and Gorilla. This is actually I mean, this comp's broken. This comp's broken if he top fours this game, because this spot is absolutely horrible. Maybe if you were like 80 HP here, you could say it's okay to be this low gold, but he's this low gold and he's low HP. I mean, the one upside is he does have the augment that's going to end up giving him the Zanyas and the Aurora. Like, that will allow us to hit our cap. Honestly, I want to do a check-in on where we're at as far as that, because I mean, this this board does seem fantastic for this augment, because once again, this is a board that plays for very long fights. Also, winning that fight is actually like really crucial. Oh my god, honestly, winning that fight just barely might have saved our game. Oh, we did actually check it there. I want to see what we got going on here, because like we got to be relatively, yep, 6,500. So we're very close to proccing it. I mean, we might end up a spot here where we're 4 Dynamo and only 2 Bastion, which I will say, I mean, you add units, you add Dynamos, you add Bastions, it's nothing too crazy. The Reddit post actually has kind of like it written out where he says level 5 is 3 Dynamo, 2 Bastion. Level 6, you want, like, anytime you can hit a Bastion breakpoint, you jump up that Bastion breakpoint. And then in between, you add more Dynamos until level 8, where you play 4 and 4. And then level 9 is 6 Bastion is the idea. Or you can actually play Cyber Boss, according to the Reddit post, which makes sense to me intuitively. Getting to the next breakpoint on things like Bastion, I think, is very important to... I mean, this is a very slow comp, and so buying more time for your units is very important. But yeah, we're going to level up here. Throw the Zanyas onto... Okay, that's a little awkward. Not really sure why the Zanyas ends up on Aurora here instead of Elise, or even like, it's probably not going to go on Morg, but why is the Zanyas not on Elise? I mean, we're just like, it's not like the Zanyas has to stay onto Aurora, but okay. In any case, we do have the Aurora in now, which is nice. We did get a little bit cleared here by this Shaco, but our Morg did live, luckily, and I think she's ticking down enough to kill it. Yes, all right, nice win against PMD Stacy Girls there. So looking decent. We made it to this 4 Dynamo. I mean, we want to make it to level 8, and normally if we hadn't had to roll a disgusting amount of gold to find this Morgana 3 because we were contested, we would be on our way to level 8. You know, we'd be like maybe 50 gold in this spot here. Instead, we're 10 gold here, so it's gonna be a while before we get to that level 8 spike, that huge spike of 4 Dynamo, 4 Bastion. But the upside is we're winning fights. We have the Aurora, which is a very solid unit. He types, oh my god. I mean, this guy, I mean, let me move my head so you can see. He typed, guess we can't both hit. And Ripple is actually going 8th. That's crazy. A lot of people these days actually like the RNG golem a lot, just because if it rolls a Radiant tank item, it's fantastic. There's a lot of good Radiants that I can roll. You do already have a lot of... I would be tempted to take RNG golem here, actually. Yeah, I think it actually makes sense. We hit Techie. Ooh, I mean, we have a Radiant Warmogs. I mean, that's tank stats. The Horizon Focus is completely worthless, and the Techie is also... Well, I mean, we can get the Shyvana in. That'll be techie. That's kind of chill, actually. I mean, it's not nothing, I guess. And all right, we do get to level up here. We are going to get our tank item for Jax and then finish off a last... I still don't really understand what's going on with our itemization, why the Zanyas is just in Narnia over onto this. Like, I think I probably would have gone for just Jax item and then move the Zanyas over to Elise here, but I mean, mana item onto Elise is pretty solid. We'll get her casting more, get her shredding more, so that's pretty chill. We also did end up making a Shiv, which I think is like, it's fine when you have the Piercing Lotus. It's like not, I don't know, priority number 1, but it's all right. But all right, we're winning, and I mean 45 HP here. He goes over to Ripple Overdrive Support and emotes him. Oh, this Saint guy. I did not know the Saintvicious guy was so toxic. What the heck? He actually emoted on him. He said, how dare you contest me? That is crazy work. All right, but I mean, hats off to Saint. He is the one who won out in this contested setup here. He rolled really, really deep. He ended up finding it, and now we're in a very nice spot here. I do actually want to go back and talk about Poppy positioning here, because this is another really crucial part. Now that we're actually at the Poppy 3, we can start talking about what this Poppy unit does. And you can see Saint actually playing for the Poppy positioning here. He's scouting his opponent in this situation, and he's trying to get Poppy in a spot where she can ult the back line. So if you guys haven't read Poppy's ability, because TFT players don't read, she throws a buckler at the farthest enemy within 4 hexes. It's kind of funny. You can think about Poppy positioning the exact same way you think about Zed positioning. It's the exact same thing, where oftentimes if you want to hit somebody in the corner, we're trying to hit right corner here, you want her 3rd hex from the left or right here. The right here if you're trying to hit here. And so you can see him, trying to position for hitting somebody right corner here. So this Poppy in this spot will ult either the Morgana and actually will potentially ult the Vex. And yeah, she does hit the Vex here, which is actually kind of huge here. But this is actually really, really big for this fight, because Vex is a unit that relies on overhealing. Now this board does look really, really strong, so we might still lose. But yeah, this Vex board gets so much of his damage from Vex overhealing that Poppy sniping out the Vex here, getting a little bit of chip damage is huge. And versus other boards, you can actually have the situation where Poppy and the Morgana can together snipe and just straight up kill a unit. So we'll see how this fight goes. Probably not good enough to win. Oh my god, it's actually so... I feel like... I actually feel like this fight was an items on... like having the Zanyas onto Elise Stiff. But I mean, good positioning from Saint, showing off how to actually position around this Poppy unit. In any case, it's a close loss against a really strong board. So you can't feel too bad. The dream, by the way, on this board, you're normally playing Galio plus, so yeah, I don't think the normal version of the board actually does fit Shyvana. Like normally we're playing this board and then level and add Galio. The nice thing is, if you can hit a Galio too, and I don't know if we're actually going to get Galio this game, but the idea is Sejuani always wants to be 1 hex from the left or 1 hex from the right, and you can put Galio next to her for kind of insurance, where, I mean, best case scenario, they have a carry on the same side as your Galio and your Sejuani. You can do kind of like a chain stun where like Galio will stun them into Sejuani stunning them. But even worst case, if they do the kind of positioning where they bait your Sejuani away so she can't ult backline, Galio can still stun backline. And with 4 Bastion, he's oftentimes casting. The big problem with this Galio unit is he's pretty unreliable as far as casting. And we are going to level here, yep, for the 4 Bastion. We're not going to play the Galio yet because we do want Techie onto the thingy, which makes sense. So yeah, the idea of what I was saying is positioning wise, and they have this in the Reddit post as well, which I'll include, is like Sedge here and then Galio here. If they have a carry here, it's going to focus on the Galio. Galio targets whoever does the most damage to him, which is, I don't know if we've ever had targeting like that. And you can actually see this player doing that that exact positioning where the Sedge is next to the Galio. So, Morg's kind of a funny unit, but I mean, if you have kind of a traditional carry that aggroes onto the Galio, Galio can stun them, and then Sedge can also stun, and then you can get this kind of chain stun situation where they just like can't move. And yeah, worst case, if they dodge your Sedge stun, your Galio is almost always getting a proc off. But yeah, Galio, a very weak tank because he needs to like reach the end of his cast to actually like really do anything. But if you get him to that threshold where he does reach the end of his cast, he's quite solid. So he's kind of weird. He's a very thresholdy tank in a kind of funny way. This fight also looking pretty scary. The Morg lasting a while, and oh my god, the Elise and the Morg actually clutching it. I will say this is such a fun comp to watch just because of the damage over time. It reminds me, what was the Malzahar? There was some kind of like Malzahar. It was 5-cost Malzahar, and then what was the unit that shared a trait with it last set that also did kind of like damage over time, and you would like buy a bunch of time? I mean, I guess it was just Malzahar doing damage. I'm thinking Malzahar. Oh, I'm thinking Malzahar doing damage, and then like the Scuttle Crab anomaly last set felt similar vibe space to this. And we do find the Renekton here, so we are going to fit this here. We are going to move the Zanyas over to Elise at long last, and then just throw the support items over to the Aurora. I love this. Aurora, fantastic red buff holder, as we've talked about many times, just because she basically hits the entire board for free. So yeah, I actually like this item distribution so much better than our previous one. Rotate into a pretty strong TF board. They've hit the Braum 3, they've hit TF 3, but actually, yeah, I think our board has a fantastic matchup into them because Morg can just snipe backline. This is actually so nice. Like I actually think versus boards like that with slow matchups, but not a lot of like, I mean, without Gunblade, and I mean, actually, did they even have Gunblade on TF? But without a ton of healing on your backline, Morg can actually just snipe you out as she gets, repeat casts off. We have Morg opposite side here. Ends up being really good because we rotate into the Shaco here, which is going to proc onto our Zanyas, which, I mean, this is pretty perfect positioning for us. We'll see if we can, we still lose this fight actually, just because their board has overwhelmed us. But I mean, top 3 is pretty good. Maybe we can sneak out a win versus this Iron Tyranny player. And we do also get to bite the Golem here. Yeah, the Golem actually really nice for us here because we get to bite it. Even though it's a little bit less stats, it's still, you know, it's still biting a Golem with a Radiant Warmog. So this Rudacted getting a lot of HP there. All right, rotate into the Vex player again. Only downside is we're actually giving them a lot of AoE value in this setup. And I think we're getting... ooh, he dodged that Sedge Stun, but don't think it's enough. Stacy Girls also took a loss, but I think, yeah, it's not enough. So it is a solid third, but I will say, third from this spot, hard contested, 45 HP. I mean, this comp's broken. I'm calling it here. So go try this comp out in your games. Let me know how it goes. Hopefully this video is helpful to you as far as figuring out how to play around this comp. And yeah, I'll also link the Reddit post down below that has good information on how to play it as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Medify. All my links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.